Well, hey there, this is Jerry, and I'm getting started on another episode of What's Broke Today. And today it's part three of the 95 Mustang. Um, I have a fuel tank that I got from, it's made by Dorman, but I actually got off of Amazon, was the cheapest place to buy it. Um, I got my fuel pump, fuel level sending unit. Um, I think the only thing I'm waiting on is that little rubber grommet for the tank vent where it snaps on top of the tank. But I don't know, it may come today, it may. Could be tomorrow. I might have to check the tracking on that, but let's get back after it, and I'll show you what all I got done. Okay, 95 Mustang fuel tank. I got a new one from Dorman off of actually Amazon was the cheapest place because it's a little over $100 to get it shipped here. And then I'm gonna very carefully pop the ring off for the fuel sending unit, or for the fuel pump, I guess, and see if I can get this up out of the tank. Okay. Boy, that's nasty. Boy. I'm going to clean some of this up, and I'm actually going to reuse this piece. Now, the one for the fuel level, um, I just ordered a new one because that was like 30 bucks. So, but I'll get the fuel pump swapped out. But I'm going to start out by cleaning this, wire brushing it some. Okay, getting started here. I'm going to clip the wires going to the pump. Even though my new pump could have the same connector, but I'm not sure. I'm going to loosen this clamp on here. I'm not sure it's loosening, but and these screws holding this together here are 5mm. I'm going to go ahead and pull them out because that's interfering with me taking that clamp loose. I can all four of those off, and then that'll dislodge the pump. I have to get that off, and then I can pull this down off there. And usually these clean up pretty good because a lot of what looks bad on here isn't as much rust as it is old fuel. Likewise, our fuel hose that's in there, lucky that even worked, and it just feels like gum. It's amazing what fuel can do to a rubber hose. What I do know is this pump has been in here since before ethanol was required in Missouri. Okay. I think I'll rinse all that off with brake clean. And then all this stuff over here I can throw away. Well, I'll clean that stuff up and I'll go get my new pump. Let's get back to our fuel pump. Oh, so apparently now Walboro are now made by TI Automotive. So, and the kit I got is a GCA 710-2, 255 liter per hour fuel pump. And then all kinds of goodies in here. Some we need, some we don't. It does come with instructions. A new strainer, the rubber piece that goes on the bottom, new clamps, new hose, little wiring harness, the O-ring, which I got one in with my fuel tank as well. And apparently just one butt connector. Huh. Well, oh no, there's the other one inside the hose. So, well, we know that's got a plug on there for sure, and make sure it goes all the way on and locks. And we pull this cap off. What did the dog get into? I don't know. I don't see nothing. We can get our cap off the bottom, or attempt to. Because we can't put it in the bracket with this red cap on. So, we do got to put our rubber piece on. And that got to go up there like, let's say like that. That down in there. Okay. And of course, our hose and one clamp goes down here. Okay. And since I know that's got to go there, I'm going to turn this clamp around here and tighten it like this so it's out of the way. Just got to make sure it's not going to interfere with anything, because it's starting to, as I tighten it, it's twisting just a little. Okay. We got another clamp that goes up here. Rubber hose up on there. Okay. Let's get our clamp back up there. Out of the way. Okay. And we push that down on there, and then we got start our screws. Dog coming over to check on me. Okay. Push that up on there a little more. And I can bring my clamp, work it up, and get my ground wire for the pump on the other side of the hose. I'm just going to turn that in like so and tighten her up. Okay. Okay. And of course, I don't need those because of the setup I got, but get that wire and shorten it. That wire, shorten it. That off. And of course, we gotta go red to red, black to black. Put that in there. Down to the other hole. We want to get a crimp on that as we can get, so the wires don't come loose and we don't have any arcing in the tank. That seems pretty solid. I stripped a little too much of that. Okay. I'm going to do the black wire. Twist that, make sure you get all the strands up in the butt connector. Same way here. Got one strand on that just doesn't want to go up in the hole. But I use the smallest crimp thing on that and kind of bunch those wires up. Okay. Then we got that, and of course, all I'm going to do is just pull those down and kind of tuck them up in there a little bit so they're out of the way. Make sure they're good and solid. Now we're ready to go back in, other than our straightener. And let's look down in our hole. And that strainer is going to have to go looks like we don't need that no more. Pointing down, because it's interfering with my strainer. Because wait, there's a sump in the tank. When I put this in there, it goes more this way than that way, so that's why the long part's going that way. I think both of these are the same, whether it's the pump or the fuel level. That down in there. Okay. Yeah, I probably should have turned that strainer a little differently. But yeah, it's not exactly what I wanted. It works. Okay. All right. Now we can put our ring over. And of course, make sure I got it underneath all three ears. And then just okay. And that's that. Yeah, probably the hardest thing now to put in. This thing's not as pliable as I'd like, but it almost looks too big, but it's just the way they're made. And this is another Dorman part that I ordered. I ordered this before I realized I was going to have to all this trouble with the tank. Because this is one of those things, I always want to replace it because I don't want to take a chance of it leaking fuel around the filler hose. But when my fuel level sending unit gets here, and this grommet for up here, we'll have that ready to go in, and I'm going to see if I can get that. I'm going to use a scraper, see if I can get that those rubber pads off. and transfer them, but actually might have to get new because we don't want this metal on metal up in the bottom of the car. Okay, well, it's here with my Mustang, and I was going to verify my fuel sending unit worked, and I was concerned about this because all the rust and corrosion. And this one, when I ohm it out, no matter where the float's at, I got nothing. So it's an open circuit. So I decided I'd get one off of Amazon, and I don't know if you can see my meter, but see it says OL, which means open circuit. And when the float is all the way down, it's pretty close at 18.6 ohms. But as I start moving it up, it comes in and out. I mean, it does better clear at the bottom. Well, see, in there, it don't work at all. There we go. 16.16 ohms, roughly. I move it up halfway, nothing. All the way, it comes and goes. So if I move it down just a hair, it goes up to around 160, maybe 170 ohms, which is about right. So my cheap Amazon fix sucks. So they're sending me another one. So I'm just going to box this one up, take it up, and drop it off and send it back. And probably going to regret that I didn't just get a refund and spend a little more money on a sending unit, because this, of course, made in China. So, oh well. That just shows me where trying to save money doesn't pay. But I do got my fuel pump in there. I plugged the wire in for it. It does run. Um, it'll be a couple days before the other new sending unit gets in, but I was wanting to make sure the sending unit and the gauge worked before I put the tank back up in the car. So I'm sort of at a standstill because, like I say, this one, you don't even hear it rub on the inside of there. I don't think anything's attached, so that's junk. And then, of course, I got my new ring to put it in. So when I get my new sending unit, I'll be back. Back at the gas tank for the Mustang, and I didn't buy these pads. Are they go in between the tank and the body, are shot. Um, so I bought these little squares because I don't know. I should have just ordered new of what was on there, but what I know about is how these lay up meet between the tank and the body, and this tank is rather, I don't know, staticky, or has static cling. But what I do with these is I know that these need to go across here. So I'm going to take 3 and stagger them up across this end of the tank so that they will contact the trunk floor in place of this, which this wasn't exactly in the right spot. This was actually way over here and it needed to be over here. Now, this on the other end, this is one that I ain't. They're still part of. This one's stuck up there, but see, normally this goes like that. So How I deal with that is same thing with these pads. Is I know I need one up here. So I'm gonna put that there. Um, there's another goofy thing that goes around the sending unit. None of this touches the bottom of the car, so I don't even worry about it. I take another one and stick it down here. And then, where the tank meets, it actually contacts over here. So, and we could probably get by without that one. But this set, which I get them off of Amazon, and they're like $8. I get them stuck on there, and then that'll insulate the tank to the bottom of the car. And of course, I didn't video, but I got another fuel level sending unit. Test it with the ohm meter. It passed. Plugged it into the gauge, and it appeared to be working. And I'm gonna spray that with silicone. I got my new rubber grommet, and the silicone just makes it slick, so I can slide that in. And then when I get ready to put the tank up, I've got to clean the fuel filler neck up here a little. I'm gonna spray silicone on where it goes into the tank and seals around that. But I'm actually gonna trim this rubber a little, trim it back, and then I'm gonna get some sandpaper and sand that where it's rusty, and then we'll be ready to put the tank back in. Now the other thing I want to do while I am under here is change out the fuel filter, and I got a new one, and it came with new clips, so I am just going to try and break. Well, that wasn't so bad. That one come right loose. That don't happen very often, but that's good. And we'll go to the other end, and it'd be easier if I didn't have the jack stand under the axle. I'm doing this now before I put the tank up because it's actually a little easier. Because normally the tank would be right here, and I mean, it's not excessively in the way, but it is in the way. Oh, well, maybe I can get that down out of this. Oh. You have to be careful because it is a plastic fitting. I'm just getting started here. I'm prying on it and twisting it, and it is slowly sliding off, like so. Okay, so there's one end off. So basically I've broken it to get all the pieces out of the way. I can take the fitting on the other end and slide it off. I got my drain pan there because we are getting some nasty, smelly gas out. Not to mention a little dirty up in there, but okay. Now that we've got that out of the way, and that's gas coming out of the filter. Okay. Now I just put my finger over the fitting to keep it from coming out. I don't want it to. This is a lot easier if you got it jacked up and the axle's not sitting on your jack stand, so. But there we go. Get the filter. Okay, hold it up there so I don't make too big a mess. The last thing I want is to get gas all over my camera. Okay. And one of the last little things that was actually hanging it up was getting in between this other line and the frame. So I moved my light around, get us better light now that I got that off there. And up there. Up and past everything around the clamp. Oh, we're just about there. Okay. And once I get it past all that, then I can go ahead and take and tighten up my hose clamp that holds the filter in the bracket. All right, and then pull off the protector, shine my flashlight, and make sure everything in that fitting is clean. Slide that one up on, and I can take my retainer and push up through there. Lock it in, make sure it comes out the other side. And I'll do the same thing with this one. I'll pull the protective cap off. Slide it up on there. Make sure I'm past the neck there, so when I push this through, it locks and it can't come off. And okay, and that's our fuel filter is done. All right, not knowing how this is all going to show up, I'm going to start out with spraying my silicone on the fuel filler and on that grommet. That's cleaning a bunch more dirt off, but want that slick. Look at these. All three bolts that go in the straps are identical. So I'm going to start out with, I got the tank with the plastic shield sitting on the floor jack. I'm just going to start going up with it and get it up where it's close to the bottom of the car. because I know this has got to hang over the back. Got to get that started in. Which I spray silicone on that because with that new rubber grommet, it will be tight. Okay, well, while I'm here, before I get too far, I'll plug in the hose for the vent. I'll plug in the return line and clip its clip. Okay, I have my rubber booty on the pressure side. I'll snap it on there and clip it. And put the little retainer thing up on there. My flashlight so I can see what I'm doing wrong. Oh, I was going backwards. Okay. Those little retainer clips will only go on one direction. Okay. Then we start working our fuel filler neck in some more. Okay. All right. I'm going to come up here and make sure I'm lined up with the where it goes through the, the fuel goes into the filler neck area. I'm going to grab one of my strap bolts for the back strap here and see if I can get it started. Just not quite there. I'm going to grab my other strap and might be able to get that started. Okay, there's one. Got that started. Okay. Helps if you tighten the release on your um, floor jack for it to actually lift. Okay, slide under here and try this strap bolt again. Okay, we almost had it. Okay, got that started. Oh. I'll tighten this exhaust clamp up that I loosened earlier. Now the one thing I did notice is the hole for this tank strap is not in the new tank. So that's not cool. But okay, I got all 3 of my screws, I think. Yeah, for the filler neck are all started now. I need to get an extension to make it a little easier to tighten them up. I was just sticking the ratchet up in there works, but it'd be easier if it's outside the hole. It's all looking good. I don't think I pinched anything. Okay. All right. Our tank is back in. So I need to get fuel. tighten the filler neck, and then actually flush. Uh, I still got the fuel line off at the engine. I need to flush out the line between the tank and the engine with fresh fuel, and then we'll be good to go. Well, I'm going to wrap up part 3 on the Mustang. Um, so we got fuel tank in. I got to go get some fuel and put some gas in it. I'm going to use premium no ethanol in this, just mainly because of its sitting. And then, of course, when we come back to the video, I need to get the jacked up in the front. I want to pull the plugs out the side of the block and drain all the coolant out. I'm going to start out with fresh coolant, and I'm going to mix up, or I have it already mixed up. I'm going to use antifreeze 50-50 with distilled water, so I don't have any of the chemicals and minerals that are in our tap water in the cooling system. Need to get it started. And then also think I've got a different mass air meter, one they call a PMAS mass air meter, which is supposed to work better in a boosted application. The biggest thing is I needed the guy I got it from had whacked the ends of it so it don't have the little flange to keep the hoses from blowing off. So I'm gonna have to. I got one of those bead rollers ordered so I can put a bead around that pipe so it won't blow off, or hopefully won't. And but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna have it started running and and check out a few things before I actually start messing with that. But hey, I do appreciate you watching. Let's appreciate those thumbs up for the likes. Thank you for all those comments. I'll say, if you're not a subscriber, better join on in because I'll tell them what else you're going to see on What's Broke today. And stay tuned for part 4 of the 95 Mustang.